Yo, what is going on YouTube? Bozy here, and today we're actually going to be playing something a little different than Black Ops. We're going to be playing DCUO. For those of you who don't know what this is, it's a free-to-play MMO on PlayStation, PC, and now it's actually on the Xbox One too. So yeah, it's actually free-to-play, and it's actually one of the better free-to-play games that's available on the PlayStation and Xbox. So if you guys haven't heard of it or haven't checked it out yet, if you like anything to do with superheroes, Marvel, DC, I would check it out. I'd really recommend it. So as you guys can tell, I'm already level 30 on this character, but we're actually going to make another character just for the purposes of the Let's Play. So yeah, let's create a character. So this is like the cinematic right here. I'm actually not gonna watch this, but if you haven't seen it, I recommend watching because it's pretty badass. But yeah, so let's make, let's go with male. So you have all these different sizes. You have brute large, brute small, brute medium, and then you have spark, which is a really small one, and then striker, which is the medium one. I'm gonna go with striker medium just because that's like standard, I guess. You can either do a custom costume or inspired by. I'm gonna go ahead and do custom. And then here, villain, hero. Well, I'm a lot more familiar with the hero side, so just for purposes of like leveling up quick and getting everything done with, I'm gonna go ahead and choose a hero. And then you have these personality types. So you have serious, flirty, powerful, comical, and primal. I think serious is probably one of the better looking ones. It's like, powerful looks a little boring, and then, flirty, comical, and primal are just a little much. So we'll go in the middle and go ahead and choose serious. And then for mentor, this doesn't really affect anything. It's just whoever you guys like the most, I guess. Whatever missions you want to be more involved with. Batman, you'd be more like involved with like Gotham and all that. Superman, you'd be in Metropolis. Wonder Woman, a mixture of both, but mainly Metropolis. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Superman. I like Superman the most out of the three. So then power. Okay, this is important. So this is where like the free to play and the paid for version come in handy. So there's only a certain amount of powers that you get for free. So the first, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 powers are free. You can pick out of the 6 powers if you're free to play. But after that, light, electricity, earth, quantum, celestial, rage, munitions, atomic, and all that, those are all you gotta pay for those. But if you've never played the game, I don't recommend paying for the game just to pick one of those powers. So I would play the game first, make sure you like it, and then go from there. So yeah, we have nature, which is a healing power. And by the way, if you guys, like I said, if you guys have never played this, you have nature and sorcery, which are both healers. But every power can do damage, like do DPS, damage per second. That's what they're called in this game. So every power can do damage, but then each power also has a support role. So nature and sorcery are your two healing powers. Mental is a controlling power. So what controlling does is it restores mana, power, whatever you want to call it. And then the healers obviously restore health. And then you have ice, which is a tank, so defense. Fire, which is also a tank. And then gadgets, which is the other controller. So when it comes to support role, you just got to pick which one you think is going to sound the funnest, because they can all DPS. So I wouldn't choose a power off of what you think is going to be like the most powerful. But which there are powers that are more strong than others, but powers are consistently getting nerfed and buffed and all that. So I would just pick a power that you think that you would like the support role for first, and then go off of that. So I'm honestly more of a controller or healer. I do like tanking, but only on occasion. It gets boring to me sometimes. And so it's definitely between the controllers and the healers. Let's see here. Nature, sorcery, mental, or gadgets. I'm going to go ahead and rule gadgets out of the equation. So now we're down to these three. My other character is actually mental. So I think I'm going to stick between these two. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with sorcery. Awesome. So we pick sorcery, so we're a healer. And now we have to pick our movement mode. So we have flight, acrobatics, or super speed. Acrobatics is like a Catwoman-ish type of movement. Flight is self-explanatory, super speed as well. So I'm actually gonna pick flight just for the sake of it's the easiest one. That's not necessarily the easiest one, but it causes the least problems for sure. So we're gonna go with flight. Now weapon, weapon does affect how much damage you do, but in the long run, you'll be able to change your weapon regardless what you pick now. And so I would just pick whichever one you think looks cool, or whichever playing style you like. You can see to the right, it explains all the playing styles of each type of weapon. I honestly like dual wield and one-handed. I just like the whole sword weapon style. And so I'm going to go with one-handed. And now we're on costume. So this is where you get the most customization. So we can go to body. You know, we can mess with the skin. You can do all that. I'm actually not gonna mess with the skin. Hair. Let's see. Let's do something cool. Maybe an afro. So yeah, I mean, as you guys can tell, there's just tons of things you could do. We're gonna stick with the afro though. Gear. Headgear, so you have like all these helmets that you can put on, all these different styles of stuff. We're not gonna mess with the headgear though. Face, let's see, what should we put on the face? I kind of like the emissive eyes. Makes your eyes glow a little bit, and you can change the color once you get like in game. You can change the color, so we'll go with emissive eyes. Emblem, you can put whatever you want like on your chest. There's like letters and different like symbols and whatnot, but again, we're not gonna mess with the emblem for now. So chest, this is what your shirt or whatever is gonna look like. So so since we're sorcery, I think we're gonna pick something like this. Arcane has that little glowy stuff in it. Looks kind of cool. Back, I don't really like the look of anything on the back. Like some people like the cape. The cape looks alright. The cape actually didn't look too bad. Let's see, what did that cape look like again? Yeah, we'll leave the cape. Let's go with the cape. Hands. Yeah, so if you want like gloves, or you want like something like bulky to match some like your feet or something like that, we'll just go classic everything. Our cape was classic, our hands are classic. Let's see, is there a classic waist? Okay, no, there's no classic waist. But as you can tell, I mean, like, you can customize your entire outfit. I'm not gonna, well, let's see. I don't like that. Yeah, let's do that right there. That looks pretty good. Legs, we have an arcane chest, so there should be an arcane legs. Okay, so those match. And then we have classic hands, so clean cuffed maybe? Does that match? Kind of. But yeah, I mean, like, you guys can see, like, there's so much. Yeah, let's do that. That matches a lot better. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, Uh, what are those colors? Well, that's a good question, but we can change them. So let's go here, and since we're sorcery, I guess we could go like a purplish, pinkish color, if that makes sense. You know, somewhere right in there. That's pretty close to the color of sorcery. It's like a pink, purple, blue-ish kind of color. Oh, okay. So let's go back here. So that the first one was our big primary color, and now this one is going to be let's go with like white. Yeah, and then on the last one, where is that color at? Okay, so black's not bad on this one because it's just like the trim around the hands and feet. So let's go with black. So this is what our guy looks like. You know, not the best style, but for starting off, it's not bad. So now that we're done customizing, we have our power, weapon, mentor, costume. We can press options for next or whatever it is on Xbox or PC. And then you have to enter a name. Be careful with whatever name you pick, because you can change it. However, it costs, I believe, $10 to change it, so be aware of that. So I already have a character named Vozy, so we'll just go with something like Vozy 2.0. And I'm not sure if you can have periods. You probably can't, so it's probably not gonna let me do that. Okay, so this is also another thing. If you've never played the game, you won't want to skip to level 25 because there's a lot of valuable things in between 0 and 25 that you learn about the game. So I would not skip to level 25, plus it costs marketplace cash. You can skip the tutorial, but again, the tutorial has valuable information in it, teaches you kind of how to play the game. Or you can just start the game, which is what I recommend. So yeah, we'll start the game just so I can show you guys the walkthrough process. But again, it's probably not going to let me start, yeah, because of invalid characters. So let's see, sorcery, what can we let's just go with this, sorcerer Vozy. How about that? Oh, I mean, maybe I should spell sorcerer right? Sorcerer. Oh, I hope that's how you spell it. Alright, let's try that. Start game. Alright, cool. So, again, we're not going to watch this, but if you haven't ever watched it, I recommend watching those because those are pretty cool cinematics. So we're just on a loading screen right now. Pretty cool loading screens, by the way. Okay, so now we are in the Brainiac ship. And we need to escape. So, when you first start, all you can do is fly and you have no powers. You see the power bar down there, you have no powers. But you do have your weapon. So, to do general weapon attacks, you use square for melee and triangle for range. So, I'm waiting for this door to open. When they're up close like this, you can just tap square or hold square to lunge. Alright. And you guys will probably hear my button mashing, so my apologies. Alright, so we've made it to the first sub-boss, I guess you could say. Okay, so when you fall down, you can actually tap R1, and that'll break you out. And there's feats. Okay, so you guys see that thing that just said jailbird? That's actually called a feat. And what that means is the more of those that you accomplish, the more skill points you get. So what skill points are is, apart from your actual level, you get skill points, and those can be equipped in your traits menu, which I'll explain a little bit later, maybe in a later series, where you get more innates, which is higher stats. So while you can survive in this game without skill points, the further you get in this game, the more they become relevant. So I suggest working on them as much as you can now, so that by the time you get to a higher level, if you stick throughout this game, you know, those skill points that you can get while you're a lower level will already be done, and you won't have to go back and do them. So yeah, we're still just going through the Brainiac ship. The whole process of the Brainiac ship probably takes about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how experienced you are with the game. So before we go around this corner, we turned level 2 earlier, so what you can do is hold down options and go up here to traits. And then once you're in traits, you can see you have power points and you have skill points. So go to power points. Yeah, so you can see we have one power point. So what you do is you can go to Destiny or Summoning. Those are the two trees for Sorcery. Whichever power you choose, there will be different trees, and you'll have one power point available that you can spend. So right here is Summon Guardian, and you can read the description for it on the left. Oh, sorry, I pressed back. Go back to powers, or you can go to the other tree, and you have Condemn. And so I'm going to choose Condemn, and as you can see, I picked a power, and now I have it down here. When I press L2, you can see that square, triangle, circle, and X will light up. And so when I press L2 and square, I use the Condemn power. And what this does is it does might damage. So as you can see right here, when I use it on this guy, you see those yellow numbers? Those are called might numbers. When I hit them with my weapon, it's white numbers, and those are precision numbers. Depending on what power you are, you'll do either more precision damage or you'll do more might damage. Most powers do more might damage. So yeah, once you have a power, you can just use combinations of your power and your weapon. And what I just broke was called a lockbox, or treasure chest, whatever you want to call them. Those will give you gear. So how you get gear is you go to your inventory, which is also on the options menu. You hold it down and go to inventory, and you'll have these pieces of weapon or pieces of armor sitting in here, and the numbers will be green. And what green means is that it gives you stats, like it's beneficial. So these are all green, so we should equip those. But if we equip them now, it's going to change what we look like. It's going to put the new style on. So since we want to stay how we look, we want to go to style and go up to lock all. What this will do is it'll lock all the styles, making it to where no matter what gear you put on, you'll stay in the same style. So let's put these pieces of gear on. That'll raise our stats enough to where we have more health, more precision, and more might, so we'll do more damage. So we need to use this terminal. So that got rid of some of those enemies for us. So now let's go in here. And so yeah, you can pick up explosive barrels, and just chunk them and take out a couple at a time, or you can just sit here and get used to your powers, whichever one. And there's actually a feat for breaking barrels, and so in this room, if you want to just grab a bunch of barrels and break them, you get another feat. Come here. Alright, so we cleared them all out, but there should be more coming. Yep. Alright. So we're getting there, we're getting there. Alright, so now we need to break this thing. And this is actually probably the most confusing room in the whole tutorial that they put you through. It used to be a lot more confusing for first timers, but they've made it extremely more easy because now you don't actually have to follow the rules. So you see what it says in red there is press R1 to counter. So when enemies are lunging at you and you're holding R1 to block, it'll actually counter them and do damage. So if we just hold R1 and block, it'll counter both of them, and then we can kill them. And then the next one is actually holding square. So when an enemy is using range on you like this, if they're using a range attack, you can lunge at them holding square. Or I'll wait for him to, you can hold square and it'll counter them. Or interrupt. So you can just lunge him, and then finish them off. And so likewise, when someone is blocking, you can hold triangle as a range attack and block break them. And so now after you go through those 3 steps, you have all 3. So one's gonna lunge, you're gonna need to lunge one, and then you're gonna need to range one. And then you can finish them all off. Okay, so now we're level 3. What level 3 means is that we have a skill point. So every even level you go up, you're going to get a power point, and every odd level you go up, you're going to get a skill point. So if we go to traits, we'll see that we have a skill point. So we can't go to flight yet because we have to be level 9 first, but we can go to weapons. And since we chose one-handed, we go to one-handed. And now we can go down to the second one. This will give us a new combo. So instead of just tapping square or just holding square, now we can tap hold and it will do a new combo. So let's get that and go into this next room. So this is a new combo we got, tap hold. So it does pretty good damage. And what you guys can do if you're new to the game is something called clipping. And so what I'm doing is I'm tapping and then holding for my weapon combo, but right before it actually does the whole animation for the weapon combo, I'll use my power and it will actually clip out of the animation, but I'll still get damage for the animation. That's not like a glitch or anything. That's actually just like a mechanism for the game. It's a very well-known thing, is clipping. Okay, so now we have another sub-boss. Okay, we can break out of that. And remember guys, there's feats for nearly everything in this game, so take advantage of everything. There's feats for using breakout a number of times, there's feat for breaking a certain amount of barrels. And so as you guys can see right there, I tried to use my power and it actually wouldn't let me because I was out of power. Because I used it too many times. Or I used it so many times that I ran out of power, however you want to look at that. Okay, so now we're in the final room of the ship. This is the last boss. There's a few steps to this last piece. We have to break a few turrets, and then we have to kill him, and then we have to do a last step that you'll see here in a second. Okay, don't worry about these ads, just kill the turrets because they all disappear. Yeah, see, they all die when the turrets do. Okay, so that turret fell off, and now we have to fight big guy up there. Alright, so let's just use all the combos we can on him, try to get his health down. Remember, break out as much as you can, guys. So he's doing his little teleport thing. Okay, so he's about to use an energy thing. I'm not gonna block though. I'm gonna wait till it throws me in the air, and then I'm gonna block break. And so see, I've blocked breaking, or I've used the breakout ability 5 times, and so I got a feat for it. So like I said, feats are really important in this game, especially once you get into the late game. Okay, so now we're just waiting for Superman to come in. Meanwhile, we're going to go to our inventory and put on this cape that we just got, and put on the waist that we got earlier. And so now we have a cutscene with Superman. And now we just fight off all of these ads that are coming from the sides. It's easiest to just stand in the middle and hold triangle for your range attacks. Also, you can just hold square and lunge from one ad to another. That's also an effective way to do it. But I found that the easiest way is to actually just stand here in the middle and range everything. So yeah, I'm actually going to try to make it to where each Let's Play episode is one consecutive right after another, so that I literally just don't even move between episodes. So when one episode ends, I'll just stop playing and won't upload again until I play again, so you guys won't miss anything. For those of you who have already played this game, this is probably really boring for you. But for those of you who haven't or want to try it out or are kind of new to the game, especially those of you on Xbox, this might be somewhat helpful to you. Alright, so I think we got all the ads. Let's talk to Superman. You know, graphics aren't 100% on this game, but it is free to play, so we can't complain too much. Okay, again, a really cool cinematic. We're not going to watch it this time, but I really recommend watching those if it's your first time through. And so now we're just going to use these teleporters to get out of here. So hold circle. And then we're going to end up in a police station. And that is probably where we're going to end the Let's Play. I think we're around 30 minutes right now. So we've actually reached level 4. You can see these people over here dueling by us. That's another thing we'll get into later. So let's go back to traits, and we have another PowerPoint. So since we've already used the Destiny tree, we'll just go further down in that tree. We have Rejuvenate, which is a healing power. We're not healers yet, so let's not use that. Vengeance and Soul Siphon. It's just read the descriptions on those. I like Soul Siphon better, so we'll use that. And so now you can see we have 2 powers down there, L2 square and L2 triangle. So yeah, that was the first episode of the Let's Play Sorcery for the new channel Vozy. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.